The fee hike backtrack. Tinubu suspends proposed WAEC and NECO review. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and join the conversations in the comment section. The federal government has officially dropped the hammer on its own controversial policy today, following a fierce nationwide uproar and a blistering public condemnation from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. The Federal Ministry of Education has announced the immediate suspension of the proposed review of WAEC and NECO registration fees. Atiku had publicly blasted the administration's plan to institute uniform 50,000 naira fees, calling Nigeria not a laboratory for reckless policy experiments that price poor children out of basic education. Standing directly under the political heat, the government backed down today, halting the 2027 fee hike plans. Sharp Edge Nation, this is the massive tactical withdrawal from Aso Rock. It proves that despite the ruling party's overwhelming legislative supermajority, the administration remains highly sensitive to the public anger and opposition messaging as election season draws close. Is this suspension a genuine act of empathy for struggling families dealing with inflation, or is it a calculated political retreat because the APC realized that taxing the education of ordinary children would completely destroy their campaign talking points for next year? The Sharp Edge is yours, sir. Let's have it. Let's have it.
Thank you so much. I won't characterize this as a kind of a political retreat. Rather, let me call it a form of pandering. Understanding that Nigerians, are you hearing me? Understanding that Nigerians have...
Yes, I can hear you, yes.
All right. So, understanding that Nigerians have taken so much beat, a lot of hard political policy pronouncements and actions that really had eaten into the very existence, the existential issues of our day in Nigeria. They got no choice. But let us also comment that the opposition is finding its voice, like you rightly pointed out, that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who currently happens to be the standard bearer for one of the leading political parties in Nigeria, the African Democratic Congress (ADC). It shows that opposition is trying to play a qualitative alternative to the government of the day. However, no matter how hard they try, maybe you should understand that before we came into the studio a few hours ago, there came a pronouncement from a court of appeal in Nigeria, almost delegitimizing the Atiku ADC platform again, saying that whatever the David Mark-led faction of that political party has done in terms of state primaries and what have you should be discountenanced. So it's an ongoing battle to make sure that whether there is quality resistance and fact-checking and calling or flagging the administration on some of these core policies that could be coming from the opposition side, the government may be determined to ram through whatever they have predetermined to do with the destiny of Nigerians. Now, coming back to the issue of West African Examination Council fees in that country, tell me, the excitement that used to attend the prospect of any child or any candidate, because really too, I do not want to join the chorus of those who would perpetually treat Nigerian youth as children that have to be breastfed even up to post-university days. They lobby for them to have a place, where to write West African Examination Council, GSS1, placement after primary school leaving certificate examination. They lobby to get them places in the university. They lobby to get them postings during NYSC. And after that, they still lobby and lobby and lobby and lobby, such that the youth are not given the opportunity of really standing out as graduates, as people that are well formed. That is the same mentality that is going into government trying to play politics with them. Who helps a child in our days? When I first wrote West African examination in 19 whatever, just to be precise, in 1986, the military had just seized had just seized the leadership of the country 2 years before, and when it got our turn to write WAEC, nobody was going to stand in the gap for us. The military administration of the day did not. They did not spare us that pain. Our parents had to do whatever they had to pay our way through. I'm not saying parents should not be relieved of the burden of this. No, I have that thing in my heart that says that whatever assistance can be given to the greatest majority of Nigerians, barring the shamelessness of people who can afford all these things at times, who know that they are comfortable and yet they still put the responsibility to the state to help them out in taking care of their children. That's not the way it works. The assistant that must come must go to the weakest of the citizens within the system. But that aside, bringing this up, you introduce a policy, you just want to test the waters, you want to test the citizens because of politics, and then you give this semblance of, oh, we are a listening government, let us tone this down. But you know intentionally that that's not what you desired originally. You know what you want to achieve. Just playing politics with the mind of the people, the mind, what I call mind craft or mind game. That's not right. Don't send mixed feelings when you are in leadership. Let people know where you are. Are you somebody that is worthy or that is capable of showing empathy? If you are not, then do not pretend. Honestly, the current government in Nigeria and elsewhere in the world have done so much that you would be questioning whether we are alive or we are dead or we live in another world. People no longer have this feeling that, they are providing leadership over real human beings, people are not that humane anymore. So, kudos to Atiku Abubakar, but I don't want to be part of his politics. I do not want to be, because you never can tell if tomorrow he's able to grab that power and he runs with it like Tinubu once said. You never can tell. You never can predict what he will do. I mean, we saw some of Atiku's antecedents when he was vice president of Nigeria. The privatization policy of that government was superintended by him. I'm not condemning him for whatever he chose to do then or not. What I am just saying is that you never can swear on behalf of any of these characters that they would lead trying to give succor to the citizens, because they don't even, on the best of them, seem to have their own minds. The dictation, the whole thing, there is always that paper that somebody must have predetermined elsewhere. Say, for instance, the Bretton Woods institutions, the troika of World Bank, IMF, and the International Financial Corporation IFC in Washington, D.C. It's almost like putting the gun to the head of to the head of whoever is leading anywhere in the developing countries of the world. It's either you do it this way. Things they don't even try with their own citizens, they will dictate to them, do it this way or whatever. And that is what I call the sustenance of what I would call a commodification of human life, such like you used to have during the days of slavery and neocolonial. We can call this the critical phase of neocolonialism. And this thing flows towards one direction, not getting a feedback. Even when people are in pain, they are telling you, oh, the government of Africa or Nigeria is doing very well. The majority of the people are dying under the yoke of the economic dictum of these institutions, the bitter pills recommended to people of Africa, yet they are not letting go. They just, not even a chance for the poor in Africa to breathe. They hold them by the jugular, and that is what they are. Inconsiderate leaders, that is what they administer on the people. So, yeah, pull back on them. WAEC 50,000 naira fee. Did they intend it that way originally? Isn't just a way of playing on the mind and playing the citizens? I mean, they can continue doing all these things. Someday, the game too may end up playing these politicians. Just saying, I think that day will come in Nigeria, that the people would really have their leaders on their side. But as it is today, I think they just playing the citizens around. And it's also a shame to want to do that with the helpless and troubled minds of the youth of the country. And that is what you find a government introduces loan policy concerning university or tertiary education system. They hail it as if, oh, this is some form of kumbaya. It is it is now life in paradise. Of course, how can evil that is postponed, paying back on every debt, how can it be a good policy? Instead of introducing grants, instead of introducing competitive scholarships, instead of making education affordability, something that is done across the board, they rather feed their greed, their corruption, their fraudulent lifestyle, and then they make it look like they have done something for the citizens that is worthy of being celebrated. I don't get it most times when they think this way. I think the entire thing that is available to the country should be put on the table, then authoritatively allocated. That is what is called government that has direction. Not when an individual steals 100 billion naira, an individual steals 1 trillion, and then you leave the crumb for the people to fight over, and then you think you claim you are doing them some good. Some good, my foot. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, join the conversation in the chat. It's okay. I think we're all going to be all right, but I hear you sharply on that. The reality is that people don't change unless it represents relief, pain, or pleasure. And right now, I don't think Nigerian leadership is incentivized to change. So it is. So I hear you completely, and I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, join the conversation in the chat. I would like you to get your thoughts on that one. Hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We have some other trendy stories around the world. We'll be right back.